Nerf clan, hey Blitzers, it's Ronan. Been gone for a little bit. Apologies, I had some stuff going on in vacation, but I'm back and we are reviewing the IS8 Russian heavy tank that many of you own. I've struggled with this tank myself, but I'm here to say that it is the best medium in Tier 9. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen, medium in Tier 9. Like the M103, the IS8 has very good mobility, and I think it plays better like a medium than a heavy because it's lightly armored. Take a quick comparison here to the M103 and then the E50, just a comparison, what the hell. First, you can see the DPM, obviously less than the E50, but very comparable to the M103. AP pen 258 with 420 alpha, obviously higher alpha than the others. In terms of heat, interestingly, both heavies shoot heat and the medium shoots APCR. 2205 versus a higher DPM on the E50. But the pen is gorgeous, 340 with 360 alpha. And the HE, you got pen of 68 with 500 alpha. A lot of good stuff, very good HE there. If you look at the other key things, you know, the caliber is a 122, a little bit more. Shell velocity is nothing special. I would certainly supercharge it, although it is tempting to reduce the aim time. I would avoid that to gain this shell velocity. That's a personal preference. In terms of weapon handling, aim time is obviously bad. It's a Russian heavy, and you could expect that. That's a big difference, obviously, versus the beautiful German gun of the E50. And the on-movement turret is nothing special. I would say the depression elevation is a struggle with -5 only. When you consider scrolling down a little bit more in mobility, this is where it gets interesting. Look at the mobility of the IS8 on the left-hand side. 50 speed is forward top speed, and reverse 15. Look at the difference between that and the M103. Massive difference. I mean, so much faster. Slower than the E50. And when you look at the power to weight, they are very similar. But the top speed is a problem for the M103, which is not a problem for the IS8. And then the effective, you can see, is again similar. The E50 is a little bit faster, which you would again expect. And then that's the camo. That camo is not accurate here, but camo is nothing special. You know, and then in terms of the HP, this is why this tank is such a beast. It does have amazing armor. It's got 120. You know, just real quick, the turret armor is fantastic in the front, 201. 148 side armor, which is just ridiculous. And rear armor is low at 50, but for the turret. But the hull, 120, 80, 60. And that will balance a lot of shots, especially against other tanks. So let's jump into a couple of replays from Lance and Jet and show what this tank can do. First replay here, we have SirLance a Little playing in Yukon. And SirLance a Little is sporting, I can't remember what camo this is exactly, but it's good stuff. And he is pushing from the southeast spawn, where the traditional play here is the AC caps. I will say I found that going towards D in Yukon is just a death trap. It just doesn't work. It truly, really doesn't. But personal opinion there. I'm sure you can make it work. I don't know. It just ends up being just like a medium standoff, and you just lose. So Lance does here what I think is the right way to play this, which is go get C. His team did not go with him, but a beautiful shot. And you know, the cannon for the IS8 is just not a Russian cannon. I'm sorry to say it. I mean, that is just a snapshot there, right into the turret of the that was a AMX 5120. And look at the shot at the Emil. Switch to heat, and that Emil was like butter, just right through the turret. Of course, that's an Emil 1. Would not be the same for a Kronwagen, but nonetheless, still the heat that this tank has, the 340 pen is fantastic. 340 before calibrating, which you very well could, is really something that is special for the IS8. Something you need to learn how to use. And don't be cheap like some of our clan mates who don't shoot Cramo. I mean, you got to use all ammunition to be a great player, like Lance is. So anyway, Lance had a bunch of people go, and this actually worked. This does work here. So what can work in Yukon, and essentially Lance did here, is he grabbed C and he's holding C pretty effectively, and he gave enough time for the medians to flank. The enemy went to a slow A cap, which if you're going to push A or C, you got to move into it. And so that allowed them to have a flank, and you can see in the mini map there, the mediums are now behind the enemy, and they're really giving him hell. Nice shot into the bat chat there by Lance. He's still got 1200 H point, which is why this tank is such a great, as I call him, a medium. You can take a lot of shots there, and you got armor, And you know that T69 is going to have a lot of work to pen you, and you just have all these hit points to spare. You're going to bounce some shots, and these guys are just not pushing Lance, which is a mistake. AP there, I think HE could have penned. Doesn't matter. That bat chat's down to a one shot, and Lance. And again, look at the size of the reticule here. I mean, that is not a Russian heavy cannon. Very different. Nice clear there of the Skoda. The bat chat's pushing. Let's see how many of these he bounces. No, and he died. All right, never mind. Only one left. Another Skoda is left, and we get a nice push there. HE, did you see that? 532. No medium will do that. Right in the rear end there of the Skoda. Lance uses super zoom and clears him with AP. Nice game by Lance. Just a nice hold. He played that like a heavy, not like a medium, but I thought it was a good example of the game. 47-48 damage. 1299 base, 2 frags, well played there overall. Now we have a former clan member who has left us to join Straight for the pro tournament, Gent, the gentleman himself. Gent is rocking this kind of swirly camo that I believe he's a big fan of. And the pumpkin, don't forget the pumpkin. You know, a lot of noobs will try to shoot that pumpkin. But slap that pumpkin on. All right, so I love this map. No, I don't. Yeah, but it's a good map. So Naval Frontier, you know, is actually, in my opinion, a better map in Blitz compared to some of the others. And Gent goes the heavy side again. So I guess I used 2 videos. I'm saying it's the best medium in the game, but I used 2 heavy side videos. Oh, whatever. Nonetheless, I will say one advantage that the IS8 has. It is an absolute killer of tier 8s. Versus 10s, tier 10s, it does struggle. And I think versus tier 10s is where you play it much more like, in my opinion, like a medium. And watch this Gent trying to get this tiny shot there. Oh, I love the patient. I love the way Gent gets into position. You anticipate where the enemy is going to move, knowing they're going to move, and just plugs him. What a beautiful shot. It tracks him there. Again, I don't know a lot of heavies that can do those types of things. No Russian for sure. And then, you know, the turret armor on this tank is fantastic. The front of the front turret. So, you know, Gent's using this little hill right there. He does take the hit there, which was a little bit surprising from the 252U. But I wonder if I could see where that got pinned. But he's got some help from this genius in the 120. He's trying to get his gun down. He's got 3 degrees of gun depression, but does clear the 252U, and it's a 7-on-6. Gent moves up here, and he's going to try to get some shots. You know, if you can get up to this hill in the right moment with a bad enemy, you can just farm all day long the entire team. So far, 2 are spotted on this, and in Naval Frontier, you know, generally speaking, teams tend to split in half. As it appears that it kind of happened here, or at least one guy went up to the med side where Gent and his teammates are more here on the heavy. So what you got to do here is push. You got a big advantage. Gent does take another shot. I mean, I will say one of the reasons I think this is a better medium than a heavy is the armor of the IS8 is not troll, and it's nothing. It's good armor for a medium, bad armor for a heavy. Simple as that. Gent's picking apart that one. I think that's a WZ111. He does have a KV4 behind him who hits him for 301. That KV4 probably could have got him with high explosive, but 99% of KV4 drivers don't have a brain in their noggin, so not going to happen there. Gent is realizing that his teammates, even though there were 7 down here, they just couldn't take advantage of the advantage, and they are now 4-on-5. Their WZ120 realizes that he played that well. Gent shoots AP, probably didn't have time to switch to HE, but there's a Conway flanking him, which, you know, that's not an ideal tank to be flanked by. Gent realizes that quickly, gets a great bounce there, probably in the turret, and pops the Conway. He's got a Patton and a Conway over there. So the tier 9s are over on the flank side. Gent gets another nice shot, uses the hill there to in the pike nose to get good protection and to get that shot off. And this Conway just thinks he's a mouse or something, just shoves his way around there. The Tortoise theoretically would clear that very, very quick, and he does. So now that went from a 4-on-5 to a 4-on-2 very quickly, nicely done. Gent gets shot again, but just ignores the shooter, and I guess that's a M46, and chooses to not take any more damage for now. He's 481 hit points. He's probably a one-shot to the Patton or to the ISU, but the ISU just got cleared. And Gent's going to go work on this Patton. So a good example of how to use this tech. It's mobile. It's got armor. It's got good turret armor as well. So you can use it like a heavy medium or a light heavy, get into positions. Look at the damage Gent has. He's already at 5,172 damage. And use the mobility in the in hills of things like that to get the armor into play. Use your ammo, use your really high heat and HE, and you'll win a lot of games with this tank. Fantastic tank. It's on the tech tree. You know, a lot of people spending money on tanks. Just go to the tech tree. There's a lot of really good stuff out there. 5596 damage, 1 frag, 1314 base. Nice job by Gent of demonstrating the tank. Hope you liked the video, guys. Please leave me some comments and give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and sub to the channel.